Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? DB here. It is the Charles Schwab Challenge. Schwabbers.
Say that 3 times fast.
Charles Schwab Challenge. Charles Schwab Challenge. Charles Schwab Challenge. Boom.
I'm impressed.
Next challenge.
Don't make me do that at the end of the show. Actually, you might want to.
Oh, we got something for you. We got something for you at the end of the show, Pat. We are, I believe, broadcasting live on YouTube yet again. We're trying this out again for the second week in a row. But hey, it's an exciting podcast we have tonight. We're going to break down all the action. We're also going to have a fantastic chunk and run segment tonight that I am really looking forward to. Pat is going to read rap lyrics, and he does not know the song. And he has no idea what's coming. I guarantee you he's never heard the song that he'll be reading tonight. Hopefully we're on Planet Tito's by the time that happens. And this should be a lot of fun. Pat, are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I heard about this through Twitter. That's how I heard about it. But yeah, I'm interested. So, like, am I supposed to just read it like I think it should be rapped? Or is it just like me reading like you hear Morgan Freeman reading some sort of, funny.
Let's not disgrace Morgan Freeman that way. No, you're going to read it in the cadence that you believe this rap song was meant to be said. I just can't wait. I just want to skip to it.
So, like, I don't get any music. Like, you're not even going to tell me what the beat is kind of like, or okay.
Listen, I've heard you rap with a beat, and if I gave you the beat, it wouldn't matter. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also
that's true.
It has a lot to do with the cadence. The style of the rapper. You're a good old Southern boy. Georgia boys, you tend to rap a little slower, but we'll get to that. The PGA Championship was last week at lovely Bethpage Black, the second major of the year. Brooks Koepka absolutely dominating, except for about a 30-minute window on the back nine on Sunday. But, it is what it is. Brooks is ready to win majors. That's about all he's ready to do when he's not hammering Jena. He's ready to win majors, and that was very evident. And it was an interesting week. I loved the PGA being at this time of year. I loved Bethpage as a course. I felt like it played a little more difficult than most PGA championships have in years past. So it was good to see some struggle out there for a major championship. Brooks made it look easy for the first few days, but all in all, pretty happy with it. It was a good tournament, man. Any thoughts from you? Now we whiffed on the chalk bomb. Chalk bomb wasn't great. I really have a few takeaways. I think Jena's status is up in the air. I just feel like if you went back and did a little investigative reporting, right? And you went back to the first U.S. Open that Brooks won, which I believe was Aaron Hill's, right? That was his first U.S. Open. And you saw the camera action that Jena was getting after, like, post-victory there, as opposed to this one. And then let's go again at the next U.S. Open, which was at Shinnecock, I think, last year.
Yeah, Shinnecock. And
then the PGA last year to now. There's been a transition. I am going to go ahead and put this out there. I am guessing that Jena is not a long-term dime on the arm of Brooks Koepka. I think she's on the way out. Her status is waning. He refused to give her some PDA on a couple of occasions. And it just looked a little colder to me with Brooks and Jena. Now they're going to post their social media pics, doing their thing and whatnot, and I get it. I'm just saying if you read the tea leaves, it looks like Jena's on the way out. I think her status is in question.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking to a buddy of mine today. We were talking about just the tournament and everything in general, just kind of Monday morning quarterbacking. And he said 12 months. I think it's more like by the end of the year. I think it's done.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't see it. That was a very awkward exchange pre-round yesterday that got caught and went all over social media.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, obviously somebody obviously told her that it was all over the place, because it was a very contrived, make sure the camera is catching me, laying a big fat one on him. And it was just like there wasn't a whole lot of excitement. Like when I don't know, man, if I win a major, I'm grabbing my girl. And now I'm not like, sticking my tongue down her throat right there. But I mean, I'm having like if there's some excitement that we want to, I've won a major and I love this girl and there's some love there, whatever. I just didn't feel it. Didn't feel the love, and I feel like she's going to be out of here. Now we're probably going to get a picture, an Instagram photo of them down in the Bahamas with both half naked, here in the next week or so.
Yeah.
But and hey, look, Jena, I'm good with Jena. I like she wore the Ryder Cup T-shirt on Instagram, so that we made. So
our Ryder Cup T-shirt, yeah.
Yeah, so nothing but love for her. I just don't think she's lasting very long. As far as the tournament itself, whenever Brooks wins, it's extremely boring. It's like this was the complete opposite of the Masters. Like in the very end, of the Masters, I watched 50 times at least, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Just loved it. Now it was a special moment. It's probably one of the biggest we've had in golf in, maybe ever. But this was the complete opposite. Just the complete opposite. Hardly any emotion out of Brooks other than a fist pump or whatever. But just kind of, I don't know. He barely even gave I don't know. He kind of gave his dad like a half hug and whatever else. But it just wasn't. Overall he dominated it. It was great. But I did like seeing DJ come. Make it a little bit of a tournament. I think, you know what, though? Jordan Spieth showed me something in this tournament. He showed me that his game is coming around on a course that really did not fit him all that well. And he showed that his ball striking is definitely there. His putting's there. If you look at his putting stats, by the way, we'll get into this later. Yeah. He is number one on tour over his last 12 rounds when it comes to putting.
Yeah.
And he was gained 10 strokes on the field when it came to putting last week. So you can't say that Jordan can't putt right now. But
you cannot.
I thought that was interesting. Other than that, I agree with you. I like that it played so tough. I thought it would. I thought it would play more like a U.S. Open, and it did. So whatever. Bethpage is a great venue. The fans, I will say, I am excited to go there for the Ryder Cup because I think it's you should get rowdy at a Ryder Cup. But there was some annoying shit, if I got to say it, at that tournament. Just not a whole lot of reverence for the game of golf at all. Zero.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the yelling guy and the, let me try to yell before everybody else so that I can be heard guy, or let me try to yell at this moment where, nobody else is yelling so I can be heard guy. I'm really not a fan of that. But New York's a zoo. I mean, it's just a zoo. If you listen to us from New York, we appreciate it. You're probably a great individual, but New York is a freaking zoo. When you go there for any sporting event, that's what it is. That's how it is. It just is what it is, man. And I think
I'm not hating on the people in New York in that area. Look, I'm just saying.
Yeah, the golf fans aren't.
The golf fans.
It's not the best. They're not the best.
Different. It's just different.
I gotta. The Ryder Cup there is going to be. You and I have been to the last two Ryder Cups. It was lit at Hazeltine in Minnesota, and I can't imagine what it's going to look like at Bethpage.
I can't wait to go. We are going.
The players that are drafted by the European Tour, that are picked and selected by the European Tour, better pack their big boy britches. That's what I need.
Yes.
They need to have their phones taken from out of their possession, or all social media apps deleted, because they are going to get it on the course, off the course, the whole week. If they don't have thick skin, oh my Lord in heaven, it's going to be. You know what? How old will Ian Poulter be? What's that like? 5 years from now? 6 years from now? Bethpage 2024?
2024, yeah. So 5 years from now.
Ian Poulter could be in his 50s, and it doesn't matter. You need to pick Ian Poulter for Bethpage. He'll show up. My man will show up. He'll bring it.
Yeah.
Sergio, like that. The veterans will need to be in play. But anyway, that's enough of that. The coverage was kind of lame. Some of the new tricks CBS was trying to pull were terrible. The app was awful. We say it every year. People just copy the Masters app. We don't need to get into all that. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Real quick though, I did look at this today. Over under on how many career majors Brooks is looking to win is currently at 7.5. He's 29 years old. Pat, would you take the over or the under?
I'd probably take the over because I think he can take this run for the next at least 5 years and get 4 more, double his total.
I think it's a good number.
I do think the number's good, yeah.
I would take the over as well. We do this, you start to feel like this every time somebody goes on a run like this, where you just feel like they're not beatable, and they are, because it's still golf. But yeah, I think I have to take the I'd have to take the over, just barely. I do want to remind everybody of the contest we announced last week. We're getting hate on Twitter about this contest, by the way. One guy tweeted us about like having to spend some time on this dumb contest to try to drive people to market for us. I'm like, okay, can I just have a little DB rant here real quick?
I got something to say on this too, but I think it's probably the same thing. I
just want to have a little DB rant. Let me explain to you guys something. Like, we love doing this. This is a fantastic thing that we get to do. But I work full time at another job, as does Patrick, and we got 2 wives, 3 kids, or 5 kids between us, one wife each. We do a lot of stuff for TJ that we enjoy doing. Okay, again, we enjoy doing. We try to make a little bit of money on this thing, just a little bit of money. We don't make enough money for one of us to quit and do this. We don't make enough money for one of us to quit and do this. We don't make enough money to buy this private jet that I got in my screen over here somewhere. Like,
we don't make enough money to buy a seat in that private jet.
No, yeah, we don't. We ain't. This is not a major enterprise, but I will tell you this: a little bit of cheddar goes a long way. And 80% of the money we have ever made on Tour Junkies has gone right back into Tour Junkies, like making it better. So, dude on Twitter that wants to chirp because we are willing to pay for someone to fly to Augusta, put them up in a super nice place, pay for their meals, and let them play Champions Retreat, which is a nice freaking golf course, all because they give us a little pub. And you want to piss and moan about that on Twitter and come at us on that on Twitter? Like, that blew my freaking mind, man. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand these people. Like, I know that people that there's always, that no matter what you do or how you do it, there's always going to be people who come at you on the internet, because that's just the internet. I get that. But there are some times, and this is one of them, where I'm still shocked. Even though I know that it's coming, even though that I expect it, I am still shocked that with something like this contest, some idiot wants to come at us because we're having people do guerrilla marketing or what we're coercing. You ain't got to do crap. You don't have to do this. You don't have to participate in this contest. Listen, we may get very limited participation. There may not be but one person that does this. So far, there's been a couple social media accounts posted. We've had some people ask for our logo so they can put it on some stuff. That's all fine and good. If nobody does this, somebody's going to get it. And we'll look at each other and go, you know what, that was kind of a bust. Maybe we don't do that again. We didn't get the momentum that we wanted. But we're trying to grow this thing and make some noise and have some people that enjoy us tell some people about it and get creative, and in turn treat them really well for it, which we don't have to do. We're not begging you for nothing. And I got people chirping, man. Oh, it pissed me off to no end.
I knew that was going to piss you off. The part of it of that chirp, as you say, was the fact that we're about the free marketing, and I'm sitting here thinking, wait a second. Okay, we said that we're paying for a flight, we're paying for golf, paying for hotel, whatever else.
Yeah.
What about that is free? What about that is free? I mean, that's not free. So it's not like we're getting it. I mean, whatever.
We could scrounge up $2,000 and put it on Facebook ads or something, and just not let the listeners be involved. Anyway, the contest, if you missed it, is a good one. The winner we are going to pick, and they're going to be flown to Augusta, Georgia, put up, and we're going to take care of your food and your golf. You're going to be my guest at Champions Retreat Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia on October 18th for our one-day member guest tournament, and it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a really fun one. Champions Retreat, host site of the first 2 rounds of the Augusta National Women's Amateur that you just watched this past April. Lovely golf course. All you got to do is share the TJ gospel in a super creative way. Get loud, market market the podcast, tell a lot of people about it, find a way to get creative, and document it. You got to document it. You got a video of it, something like that to prove to us what you did. Again, I said we've got a couple people that started some social media accounts. If you want to, pay for a jet or an airplane to fly a banner over the beach or a golf tournament, that'd be cool. Do something on the Jumbotron. If you got connections somewhere, you want to go to a PGA Tour event and do something that does not involve you screaming like a New York fan at Bethpage, we're all for it. Knock it out. Get creative. If you have any questions, DM us on Twitter, Instagram, or you can email us, info@tourjunkies.com. That's a great contest. Pat, anything else to add on the contest?
I'll just say, you mentioned you talk about the Jumbotron or whatever, maybe at let's just say a Yankees game. I'm sure there's some money involved in that. But you know what? Yeah. If you could find a way to do something like that, but use a connection, make it free. So don't make it cost you anything. That looks better when I'm looking at this than
heck yeah, call in a favor.
Call in a favor and do something like that. That is impressive.
Agree.
And by the way, I don't know what I'm going to be doing during this whole thing. I could be playing, or I could just be riding in a cart, getting hammered, heckling whoever this is the entire time. And you, mostly, I'll be heckling you mostly. Whoever you play with should be okay.
Well, Pat, it is time. I've got a great announcement too. We just had a player interview, and I'm excited. It's going to be released later this week. Hank Lebioda came on the Tour Junkies podcast. You're going to want to check that out. Probably drop that on Thursday or so. Hank was a fantastic interview. Probably about a 35-minute interview we got with Hank. Gave us a lot of good material. Great dude. Really funny. Really open. Easy interview. So cue up the Hank Lebioda interview. Like I said, probably dropping Thursday or Friday. That should be a good one. Other than that, Pat, I am ready to get into the course breakdown and the Charles Schwab Challenge and all the picks. You ready, buddy?
Yeah, we don't have an ad read here?
Well, you want to do an ad read? Maybe we should.
No, I just felt like...
No, actually, let's do that too. Because I think we got another chirp that talked about ads, that talked about how we had 4 ads on the show last week. Let me just say this too. Again, back to the whole money thing, right? That's how we make money, by the way, is the ads. And we've said this before. We try not to do ads that we think you guys would not like or would not be interested in. And, most people on the interwebs would tell you that for every 10 minutes of your podcast, you should do 1 ad. If that were the case last week, we would have had 9 ads, okay? But we try not to do that. So pump the freaking brakes. By the way, most of our partners are long-term partners that we have great relationships with that provide you
cool stuff.
Yeah, that provide you essential tools to do this whole betting and DFS thing quite well. So shut the up, okay? But now it is time for an ad read. And Pat, it's all about your nutsack. So, we talked about our nutsacks last week. We always love talking about our nutsacks. They're the perfect bag for you to carry every single day. They're made in the USA. High-quality materials, people. High-quality craftsmanship and American-made. That's right, American-made. American labor, American wax canvas, whatever that means. American leather. That means
American nutsacks.
That means American cows gave their American lives to make these American bags to go on your American shoulder. You know what I mean? If that's not American, Toby Keith would buy one of these bags mañana if he could. But I don't know that he knows about them. They have a lifetime guarantee, a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you get it and you're like, you know what, this nutsack just doesn't feel right. I think I want another one. By the way, if you're wondering what is this nutsack you guys speak of, it is a rugged bag you could easily beat the crap out of. Men carry a lot of things: sunglasses, keys, wallet. Maybe creams if you have a rash or something. Men carry a lot of things. AirPods now, me and Pat. A computer. Maybe it's an overnight trip. You need a nice duffel. And Nutsack makes incredibly solid, good-looking, masculine bags. Me and Pat both have one. A Nutsack that holds our laptops, actually. And right now, our friends at Nutsack are offering listeners $5 off their first purchase. They're just saying, hey, give it a shot. 30-day guarantee. Beer on us. Get a nice beer on us. $5 off your purchase if you visit nutsack.com. Now that is NUTSAC.com. NUTSAC.com. And you got to use the promo code Tour Junkies. All right, all one word. Promo code Tour Junkies at nutsac.com to get that $5 off. Give nutsac.com a look. It's a really good product. Really good product. Hank Lebioda notification brought to you by our Nutsac ad.
Freaking love Nutsac.
All right, Pat.
Okay,
Tell us a
we
little bit
ready
about
for the
this
course
golf
breakdown?
I love this course. It's one of my favorite courses on tour.
I absolutely love it. I think it's just a great old classic course. So here we are at the Charles Schwab Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. Great town, by the way. And at Colonial Country Club. By the way, I thought this tournament didn't have a sponsor. I don't know when Charles Schwab came in there, but
last year it did not. It was the Fort Worth Invitational last year.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway. Colonial Country Club, great old-fashioned course, par 70, 7,209 yards. So we're definitely shorter this week. We're playing a little bit different than we did at Bethpage, which means a lot more players are going to be, have a chance to win this tournament, I think. We got bent grass greens, Bermuda fairways, rough and around the greens. This course, as you will typically hear year in and year out, it definitely favors your accurate drivers. Also, guys that can kind of work the ball both ways off the tee. I do think bombers, though, they always have an advantage, but there's a lot of dog legs where they can just basically cut corners, bomb it out there. They're going to have short irons into these greens, which are very small greens, some of the smallest on tour. Not as far as the complex of the greens, they're not really that undulating. They're pretty flat. They usually kind of slope from front to back. This is definitely one of those strategic golf courses that you got to think your way around. You don't always have to hit driver off the tee, so you're going to see some less than driver there. As far as the par fives, you got two par fives here. First hole in the course is one they're going to attack. It's only playing at 565 yards. But then the other par 5 on the back, which is number 11, I believe, is 635 yards. So you're not going to see a whole lot of folks hitting that one in 2. You got 4 par 3s here, all of them relatively long, all playing 190 yards plus. And so I think those are going to be difficult as well. And the thing to look for, as always in Texas, is going to be the wind. That is something that we typically see pick up in the state of Texas, and from what I looked at earlier today, it's going to be windy. It's going to be beautiful weather, by the way, but it is going to be windy, so that's something to think about. This is also a limited field. There are 122 players in this field, and the top 70 are going to make it. So I think that is something to look at. As far as stats are concerned, we're looking at form. We're looking at history, as always. Driving accuracy for me, I looked at opportunities gained, so a scoring stat, are these guys scoring? And then proximity from inside 100 yards, I think is something that's going to be interesting because these guys should have a lot of shorter irons. Actually, I looked at 100 to 125 yards. And then scrambling. With small greens, I always look at scrambling. I think if you got guys that are going to miss some of these greens, what are they doing when they do miss it? So past champions, Justin Rose last year. Our boy Kiz in 2017. If you're watching us, by the way, on our new whatever this is that we're showing live, David is wearing his Who Let the Kiz shirt, which I almost wore, which would have been incredible if I had done the same thing, because I hardly ever wear that shirt. You got Jordan Spieth in 2016, Chris Kirk in 2015, and Adam Scott in 2014. So one thing to notice also, Zack Johnson, who is in the field, has won here twice in 2012 and 2010. David will surely have him as his cash play. So there you go. That is the course breakdown for Colonial Country Club Charles Schwab Challenge.
And a wonderful course breakdown it was, buddy. I'm right there with you. I don't have anything else to say. I do think the wind is a big deal. In terms of stats, I'm going opportunities gained, which you mentioned, courtesy of our friends at Fantasy National Golf Club. We love Fantasy National. Tons of people won money. Tons of money won by tons of people last week that were members at fantasynational.com. I saw a ton of tweets going out. If you've not already joined Fantasy National, then you're probably not going to join because we've been talking about it every single week this entire time. And we're going to keep talking about it because we love it. It is the only stat engine that we use on the interwebs. If you go to fantasynational.com/TJ, that's fantasynational.com/TJ, you get a 20% off on the membership weekly, monthly, or annually. We love those guys. Let's do it. But I'm going with opportunities gained, which we mentioned. I'm going with strokes gained approach, kind of the same. Speaks a little bit, some of the same kind of guys pop. I definitely agree with your strokes gained around the green and scrambling metrics given the small greens. And then I looked at fairways gained, which is another proprietary fantasynational.com stat. And I like it better because it's comparing the accuracy of guys versus the fields that they're playing in, on the courses that they're playing on, whether they're tight courses or not. So I like the fairways gain number. So that's what I'm looking at. However, honestly, man, I don't think this is a big stat week for me. I'm not really weighing the stats all that heavily. I do think Colonial is a course that fits a certain type of golfer. You mentioned them. You cannot overpower this course, even though you see a lot of quotes from a lot of players through the years that talk about how tough this place is to overpower. So you mentioned accuracy. I just think you need consistent ball strikers, especially if the wind gets up. You need guys who are going to hit it on the hitties every single time in the wind. That's important and can get up and down. I think ownership's a big deal. You got 122 guys in this field. It's an invitational event. 122 guys, top 70 in ties make the cut. You're going to have a high percentage of 6 of 6 if you're playing DFS. So if you want an edge on the field, ownership's a big deal. As most, a higher percentage of players is going to make the cut this week. So I think ownership's a huge deal if we're talking GPPs, and I'm going to take that into consideration. And I think this is a very much dud deployment week. Hashtag dud deployment strategy. I'm going to pick a couple of really low guys, and I'm going to pound up top with a few studs. I'm not going balanced this week. I'm going to grab some guys in this top tier. I just think it's one of those weeks. I got more guys making the cut. I like having as many of these top tier guys as possible. So that's what I'm looking at, buddy. You ready to get into the picks?
Yeah, let's go.
Whoo, here we go. All right, 9K and above, 3 GPPs, 1 cash lock, and a fade. Pat. I'll start. You want me to start? Okay, good. I will.
By all means.
I'm going to start at the top with John Rahm. Your boy last week missed the cut by a shot at Bethpage. Very disappointing. But I like that coming into this week. Hopefully it knocks him down a bit. I like that he's expensive, 11-2. He's going to run some people off with the price. Doesn't check the box in fairways game, but that's okay. He can club down. He knows what to do. But he does check the box in strokes gained approach. He's third in this field in opportunities gained. And he's played here twice. Last year with a 5th place finish, and in 2017, a runner-up finish. John Rahm likes his place. I love his ability to hit the ball in the center of the club face in windy conditions. I bet he's ticked after that missed cut. And so I like pairing John Rahm and a couple other studs here above 9K so that I can go down to that dud deployment strategy. So I'm going John Rahm. Then I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to go to Paul Casey, the guy who finished, didn't play here last year, finished 10th in 2017. I like Paul Casey, man. He is the number one guy when you look at these stats that I talked about. He's the number one guy for me when you put them all together. He's 4th in fairways gained. He's 4th in opportunities gained, 7th in strokes gained approach, and 20th in strokes gained around the green at $9,300 on DraftKings. Also like him if you're going to bet him outright. I think it's a decent move to bet him outright. Played really well at the PGA. Struck his balls off at the PGA. 5.5 strokes gained off the tee. 3 strokes gained on approach. He lost 3 on the putting greens, which is terrible. The week before, he was just as dialed in from tee to green at the Wells Fargo and better with the putter and finished 4th. I think Paul Casey is a fantastic play here. I would lock him in GPPs or cash, although he's not officially my cash play. I'm going to play him in GPPs. Don't care the ownership. And finally, I'm going to go with a little Francesco Molinari. I said I like to load up the top. I'm going Molinari. A little disappointed in the T48 finish, but and he has no history here to speak of at Fort Worth, or at Colonial. But you just look at the kind of player he is. This is obviously a place that should suit Molinari very, very well. So I think it's a no-brainer. And I told you I like loading up at the top. So I'm going to go with those 3 guys. My cash play is going to be Kevin Kisner. Kiz loves this place. He absolutely loves Colonial. This course is circled on the calendar every single year. He's a winner here 2 years ago. Don't care about the miscut at Bethpage. Look, he said Bethpage was going to be a terrible week for him. He said he was going to be trunk slamming on Friday. It was too long for him. Now he comes to Colonial. He's got to be itching to get to an event where he doesn't have to hit it 311 yards. So I think Kiz is a great play. I'll save my fade and hear your picks. What you got?
Well, I don't have a lot of disagreement here. I mean, I will say I don't have Molinari as one of my GPP plays, but I do like it. I like that call. I'll go ahead and say that Rahm was one of my guys as well. I don't think you mentioned he was one of my guys as a tournament play. I don't think he mentioned his history here, but he has a T5 and a T2.
I did mention it. You checked out. I did mention it.
Did I check out? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to find something else because I was totally with you on Rahm. Also, Kiz, I'm with you there. I have him as a GPP play though, also and cash. So, like you said, this is a guy. He loves the course. He's mentioned before that this is a course. Like if he had to compare it to something, it'd be Palmetto, which is his home course in Aiken. Now, look, as far as distance is concerned, Palmetto is certainly a lot shorter, but it's the same type course as he sees at Colonial, and I like that. He grew up on Palmetto, and if the guy says that he's played there before, or, it ends up being like his home course, hey, I'm going to play them. So I like his. If you're throwing out stats, like you said, but he actually has some decent stats here and the history to back it up. Jordan Spieth, why would you not take him? Now, he's probably going to get an ownership bump from where he finished last week at the PGA. I think that's something I'm going to look at on FanShare because everybody loves to play some Jordan, especially when they get just a little inkling of some form from him. But when you look at it, like I mentioned when we first started the show, I mean, he gained 10 strokes on the field putting. Last week was the first time since literally the Genesis back in February where he gained strokes off the tee. Now, look, his accuracy is still not there, and you will see that when the stats come up. But as you mentioned, David, you're not as big on the stats here. So, I think Jordan is certainly worth a play. I liked his confidence. I saw him, literally when he finished up, made a little par or whatever at the end of the PGA Championship to finish where he did, top 5. He was confident. He gave a little fist pump. He wasn't going to win the tournament. But, look, if you can still get Jordan Spieth slightly lower owned than you should be, and you know what? I know that price is probably – I think you're probably thinking, the price is too high. I don't. I'm going to take him. So I like Jordan Spieth and GPPs this week. As far as the fades, though, I feel like we're going to have the same guy. I feel like we have the same guy. My fade's going to be Bryson DeChambeau. I just don't – I'm not a big fan. Hasn't fared well here in the past. He's played here 3 times. He's missed the cut twice. He had a T42 last year. Missed the cut last week. He does check a few boxes for me, but I don't know. Bryson's just one of those players that is so hot and cold, and when he gets on a streak, I definitely think you play him. But we just haven't really seen all that much from him lately. He's missed 2 straight cuts. He missed the cut at the RBC Heritage, which, by the way, I think Hilton Head and Harbor Town is a very comparable course to what we have this week as far as being able to work the ball off the tee, not having to hit drivers, things like that. He missed the cut there. So, I mean, yeah, he had a good finish at, I guess, the top 30 of the Masters, but I think Bryson DeChambeau I'm going to fade this week until I see a little bit of, a spark from him.
Well, I'm going to fade a guy who's 112th in fairways gained, 69th in strokes gained approach, 90th in opportunities gained, and 50th in strokes gained around the greens over the last 24 rounds. And a guy who is way too expensive considering those numbers.
Everything I just said you would do. I knew you were going to fade.
And a guy who, like you said, everyone's itching to play all of a sudden because he just finished 3rd at the PGA, Jordan Spieth. Yes, he did finally get into the positive on strokes gained off the tee since the Genesis with a whopping .7 strokes gained off the tee. Still couldn't do anything with his irons and gained, like you said, 10.5 strokes putting. 10.5 strokes putting, which is a butt ton of strokes putting gained. Yes,
but
the
that's
putter
a
is
trend,
back.
not a,
Yes,
that's a trend, not just last week. I mean,
you're right. You're right.
Number one in the
putter
field
is
in
back.
putting.
You're right. The putter is back. That's enough to get him making cuts. That's enough to maybe get him finishing top 25. But it ain't enough for me to pay for the third highest priced guy.
He finished top 5 last week. He finished top 5 last week.
I know. I get
and
it.
He's on a course that
he's not going to gain 10.5 strokes.
He's from Texas,
week.
by the way. He's played this course extremely well in the past. This is, if you're gonna say earlier you're throwing stats out the window, but then try to use stats.
I didn't say I'm throwing them out the window. I just said I'm not weighing them heavily.
Big on them, but then you're gonna go and then you're gonna say, well, but I'm gonna zero in on stats when it comes to Jordan Spieth. That I don't know. You're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth there, David.
Well, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. I said I would wait. You're putting words in my mouth like a politician or something. I said I would weigh them less, but I do think ownership's a big deal. As always, value's a big deal. I think as the third highest priced guy in this field, I don't want to jump on the Jordan train right now that everybody else is ready to jump on.
I think that's the argument, by the way, I can get behind. If I'm listening to us right now, I can get behind the ownership, not the ownership, but the price. I get you there.
Okay.
But everything else,
a little concession here, a little concession. I mean, the stats are supplemental. The stats are supplemental here. They are terrible. He has not been good off the tee. He has not been accurate off the tee whatsoever. And you have to have that here more than anything. That's like the most important thing at Colonial is being in the fairway. The most important. Number one. But you could argue more important than it was last week at Bethpage.
But I think, well, look, he didn't do it all that well at Bethpage, but look what he did.
Yeah, he's not going to gain 10.5 strokes again. He's not.
Putting though, but that's I'm talking about. But he's still
I know putting. He's not going to do that again.
Well, he was hitting his irons well, hitting long irons well for sure. Because he's not, and he's not even have to have not. And you know what? He doesn't even have to hit his driver here.
He was field average. He was field average on strokes gained approach last week. So if he's still field average this week, he's not going to putt. He's not going to gain 10 strokes putting. Let's say he gains 6, which is still ridiculous. Like for a guy to gain 6 strokes putting on a week to week on the PGA Tour is not easy to do. Let's just say he gains 6, but he still can't hit a fairway. I think he's done.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my fade. Pat, I need to go make a quick refill. If you could hit me with the the 8K real quick, I'll be right back. Just stall.
Yeah. No. Well, this is not stalling. This is just me going into the 8K range. Yeah. So yes, for the 8K range, we're going to give you 2 GPPs, 1 cash, and 1 fade, and I'm going to start with my 2 GPP plays this week, and one of them is going to be Emiliano Griot at 8,700. Look, here's a guy. Also, by the way, I liked him last week. I don't think I mentioned him on the show because he kind of popped a little bit later in the week, but he has improved lately as far as every single week he's been popping. He's got good recent form. He was 23rd last week at the PGA. That's after shooting freaking 76, I think, in the first round, 77, but improved over the weekend, ended up T23, was T33 at the Heritage. A guy is in good recent form, also has great history here. He was 3rd here last year, T24 the year before that, 2017. So 3 straight years he's made the cut since 2016. As far as the stats are concerned, I love that as well. I mean, you look at everything from fairways gained, which David mentioned is one that he likes. He's top 20 in the field there. He's 3rd in ball striking. He's 26 in the field in proximity from 100 to 125 yards out. 8th in strokes gained approach, and then 8th off the tee. So I think Grillo is a great play in that 8,700 range. I like him. He will be one of my GPP plays. Also, Ches Reavie, The chesticle, as DB likes to say, just pops always on courses like this. Especially, he's a proximity guy. He's a guy that's always hitting it close to the field. As a matter of fact, he is number 5 in the field when it comes to proximity from 100 and 125 yards out. Also, number 1 in the field in fairways gained, so definitely accurate off the tee. And, opportunities gained, top 50 in the field, top 35 in strokes gained approach, in great recent form. I mean, this is a guy that nobody ever seems to pick this guy. But you look at his last 3 events, he's finished in the top 30. He was T28 at the Heritage. I mentioned that was a very comparable course. T18 at the Wells Fargo, very difficult course. And then T14 last week at the PGA Championship. He's not the longest guy, but he still finished top 15 there at Bethpage. I think that says a lot. So I like some Chez Reavie there. Looking at my cash play, you could probably say Chez. I'd be okay with you fitting Chez Reavie in there as far as a cash play. But I really like our boy Joel Damon here at 8,200 in cash. Just in great recent form, making cuts week in and week out. Made a cut at his first PGA Championship last week. Look at the stats, 15th in fairways gained. He's 8th in ball striking, 8th in opportunities gained. He's 10th in strokes gained approach. Joel Damon is just, look, he's a friend of the podcast. His caddy's a friend of the podcast. But I'm not just picking him because of that. The guy just week in and week out is extremely solid. I am incredibly comfortable, especially on a course like this, with playing some Joel Damon in cash. So there you go. David, I've given him my 2 GPP plays since you're finally back. It took you forever. And then I've given him my cash play, but I have not given my fade yet.
What were your 2 GPP plays? I got Chez, and what was the other one?
Chez and Emiliano Griot. I don't know. Whatever.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, thanks for accommodating there. I did get a nice little refill. Podcast juice is important, especially on a night like tonight. You got a great
you're terrible at that, by the way. I have everything right beside me. I have a refill area. I have one computer here to my right, my main computer in front of me, and then the bar area to my left, and it's all there together. Like, I don't have to leave my.
Was that a computer flex you just did? Like, you just got 2 computers, you're just flexing on everybody. You got 2 screens. We can't all have 2 screens, buddy. I'm sorry, I'm working off of one.
I was more flexing on the fact that I had the bar beside me.
Well, I don't have the bar beside me. Let me tell you what I did. I went for 2 guys. This is where my GPP ownership leverage is going to kick in. I'm going with 2 guys who are quite accurate, and 2 guys who aren't in bad form when you look at it. I'm going Matthew Fitzpatrick, no history here, and I'm going Kevin Na at the bottom of the 8K range. I like the way both of these guys.
Very unlike you, by the way, because I like both those guys too. But there was no way I thought you would be taking those 2 guys.
Kevin Na in 4 attempts over the last 5 years has gained 19 strokes at this golf tournament. Fitzpatrick played really good on the weekend for the PGA Championship. I like the way that looks for him. And Na didn't play very well for the PGA Championship, but I wouldn't expect him to. I didn't expect Matthew Fitzpatrick to. You can't really. I think that's a mistake some people can make. Is if you were just looking at results last week and you're afraid to take somebody that missed the cut or whatever, like, this is a totally different kind of venue to me. So I think you got to dig deep. I think you got to dig deep into why something like that may have happened. So I like both of those guys from the GPP leverage standpoint. And then, like you, man, my cash play is Joel Damon. I think this is a great spot for him. He checks all the boxes. 15th in fairways gained, 10th in strokes gained approach, 10th in opportunities gained. The only thing he can't do, poor Joel, and if he were on here, we'd tell him, he can't scramble to save his daggum life. He's a terrible chipper. But when your iron play is top 10 in the field in every category, you don't have to worry about scrambling a whole lot. So good for Joel. You know what? I think this is a breakout event for Joel. I think Joel Damon could win. I think this could be the maiden victory for Joel Damon.
I agree.
I would love to see it happen. I am a little partial to Joel. Love the guy. He's been so close. He's playing a ton of golf. That's the only thing that worries me. He's playing so much golf.
That was literally the only
playing a lot of golf.
That I thought about when I was thinking.
I love the stats on him. I love the odds on him across a few of the books I've looked at. I think you bet him outright. I think you play him in DFS as a cash play or a GPP play, whatever you want to do. But he's my cash. My fade here is Rory Sabbatini. Now Rory's got some good history. He either misses the cut or top 20s. He top 20 last year. But I'm 8,800 for Rory Sabbatini, and I know everybody moves up in a weak field like this. Everybody gets priced up a little bit, and he has been playing exceptional golf. I mean, his last 3 events, he's played very, very well. But I would rather be off of him the week that he finally comes back down to earth and plays like Rory Sabbatini is supposed to play, than stay on him when he's $8,800. I just don't. We haven't been paying $8,800 for Rory Sabbatini. And I'm not really ready to at this point. The dude is liable to, erupt or eject at any moment. So Sabatini's the fade.
Is it my turn for a fade?
Yep.
I'm fading Ryan Palmer. I know he's got Texas connections.
Oh, but wait a minute, Pat. He's a Texas guy and he's a member here.
I don't care. I just
but he's
don't
a member,
see it.
Pat. He's a member.
So what? I don't care. I'm not going to play him.
I don't blame you. I played Ryan Palmer a couple weeks ago and he paid off, but I'm out on this one. He's too inconsistent.
Yeah, he's so inconsistent. I just.
You think he'll have a little ownership bump? I wonder.
I think he will. But you know what? I mean, it's not like, he does have a couple top 10s here, top 5s actually in the last 5 years, but he's also missed a cut and finished T70 in 2017. So it's not like he's, I don't know. The thing with the whole membership and whatever, it's like Webb at Quail Hollow. He kind of has mixed results there. You never know when it's going to pop. I think it's the same here.
Or it's like me at Champions.
Yeah. But nobody really cares about that. But driving accuracy, he's in the middle of the field. He's awful, scrambling lately. I don't know. Hasn't been good in opportunities gained. Everything Ryan Palmer it's just too inconsistent. I think he's going to have the ownership boost, like you said. I'm going to be fading him. So there you go. Now let's get to the 7K range. I want you to start this range because.
I'll see what you just did there. You just kind of strong-armed me there.
I did, because I'm all over the place with this range. I had a hard time with this one, so I need you to.
Well, I was kind of hoping you could start because I was in the same boat. All right, so last year we decided on this podcast that we would make ourselves land on, a set number of players per price range on DraftKings, so that we weren't naming everybody. If we weren't doing that and we were back in the old days, I would be naming 7 people right now in the 7K range. It's been really tough to narrow this down. So know this. I will say this. I think there's a lot of value in the 7K on DraftKings. I think even on the betting market, the names that are down here, I think there's a lot of value in these names. And so I'm going to like a fair amount of them. If you want to DM us or check out the Chalk Bomb on Wednesday night or whatever, comment if you're watching the YouTube video. We'll try to answer those. For right now, I'm going to name the ones that are the lowest priced because I talked about my strategy this week. I like stacking up the guys in the 9K and above range. So I'm going to give you the lowest priced 7K guys that I like. But I will start with my cash play. His name is Zack Johnson. That is my cash play. I don't understand.
I told you all.
I don't care. He's won here twice. He is checking the boxes in approach. He checks the box in scrambling. He checks the box in fairways gained. I can't believe he made the cut at the PGA. I just think 79. You're paying $8,800. Not you, because we both kind of agreed to fade. But if you pay $8,800 for Rory wrist tattoo Sabbatini, and you won't pay $7,900 in a cash lineup for cut making Iowa corn grinding Zack Johnson, you're ill. So I think it's a clear
Yeah.
cash play. But if I go down to the bottom of the 7K range, I'm going to start with Corey Connors. $7,200 on DFS on DraftKings, $7,200, accurate guy. How about this? In the last 24 rounds, he is number 1 in 2 categories, approach and opportunities gained, which are similar categories. Basically, Corey Connors, if he's in the fairway, the man is as deadly as anyone in this field. He's now a proven PGA Tour winner. This is a weaker field event at a course that suits him better than the course he won on a couple weeks ago. At $7,200, I think that's immense value for Corey Connors. So I really like Connors there. I think a lot of people are gonna be on this next guy, and I'll go ahead and say he's a fade for me, and that's Danny Lee. And I think a good pivot is Jim Furyk right above him at $7,300. Jim is arguably the most box-checking son of a gun that I have found. From tee to green, extremely accurate. Doesn't have a great history here, which to me kind of surprises me, but I think that's why he's $7,300. I think that's why he's going to be a little lower owned than you may have expected. So I'm going Furyk. And then finally, I'm going to go Russell Knox at $7,400. Knox, on the other hand, has a great history here. Gained 14 strokes in only 3 attempts over the last 5 years. Checking all the boxes. Accurate off the tee. Iron play has been really solid lately. So I'm liking Russell Knox at $7,400. So I'm going Connors, Furyk, and Knox as my lower priced GPP plays. ZJ is my cash lock.
Wow. Okay, a lot to take in there. So first off, I'll say Zack Johnson was also my cash play. I kind of made fun of you when I was doing the course breakdown. But I agree. I knew it was going to be my cash play, so that's why I said I made fun of you. But yeah, I think you're totally right. If you're going to pay up for a guy like Rory Sabbatini, and not play somebody like Zach and cash, whatever. I can't understand that. So
I convinced you in that moment, didn't I? I convinced you in that moment. You were on the fence, and I convinced you in that moment.
No, he's written down. I can show you. I mean, you can see the screen.
Show me.
So
that's too close. I can't see any of that. Plus, it's chicken scratch.
Cash.
I literally can't see it.
Hang on. Cash, Zach, where my finger is.
Put your finger in front of the camera hole. There you go. Okay. All right, there you go.
So, Cash, Zack Johnson, with you there. Not with you on Danny Lee, though. I think he is a good DPP player.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I don't know. I don't think the ownership is going to be like.
Why not? Everybody saw him playing so good.
He had one good round. But he didn't really do all that. I mean, it wasn't like, people happened to see him last week, but I don't think the everyday player is going to be all over him. I mean, he finished T36, so it wasn't like he was there at the end. And this is just a course he's played well on. I mean, he's gained 31 strokes on the field his last 5 events. He's got 2 top 10s. He hasn't finished worse than T38 in 2014. He was top 15 last year. Danny Lee also, by the way, he's a guy that I tend to just look at week in and week out. I don't know why. There's certain courses I think he just
look at him last week.
No, I didn't look at him last week. But he's not very accurate off the tee. He never has been. He kind of sprays it a little bit, but he plays well in this course. So I like Danny Lee at 7,300. I think he could be a good tournament play. Now, if he is getting a lot of talk when we're looking at sites like Fanshare, I'd probably be off of him, but I still think he's going to be low on it. I just don't see Danny Lee being, a guy that everybody's on. Up at the top here, I like Brandt Snedeker, at 7,900, a guy that has been solid all year. I mean, he was T16 at this tournament last year. He's made 5 straight cuts here. He's made, I think, 13 of 15 cuts on tour. He's only missed 2 cuts all year. Checks a box in scrambling, also in strokes gained approach. Sneds is a guy that I think is just a solid play right there at 7,900. So I'm going to play him in GPPs. Also, Charlie Hoffman at 7,600. It's just
I agree.
He's just a guy that's just.
He was one of the guys that I had written down. I like Hoffman here.
Yeah, I mean, just solid all the way around. He's not gonna be He's not always that accurate off the tee, but he's definitely a great ball striker. Checks a box in proximity. Also in opportunities gained, he's top 20 in the field, top 25 in strokes gained approach. So I love some Charlie Hoffman. Now I'll switch over to my two fades, which this was tough. This was tough for me, but I'm going to go with two guys here. One being Graham McDowell, somebody who we've seen play well lately. I feel like he's gotten I don't know. I mean, this is probably a course that fits him, but he's not really doing everything great. He is in the top 50 in the field, barely, in fairways gained, but he's 100th in ball striking. He's 95th in proximity from 100 to 125 yards. He's 108th in opportunities gained, 92nd in strokes gained approach. The guy's just not really doing anything that great, other than he is playing okay. And I feel like, he's gotten a little bit of an ownership boost just based off some recent form, and people might think this is a good course fit for him. But I'm not really seeing it for Graham McDowell. I'm just not seeing it. So he will be a fade. And then also Johnny Vegas, guy that has been everybody's loved this year. Everybody loves him. But you look at the history here, just doesn't do well. He's T53 in 2015, missed the cut 2 straight years in 16 and 17, 73rd last year. So really nothing to, hang your hat on. When you look at driving accuracy, 60th in the field, 119th in proximity.
Johnny Vegas killed me last week. Oh, he killed me last week.
Yeah. The guy I love Johnny Vegas.
I've made some money on.
I don't think you play him in majors. I just don't like playing him in majors. I don't like it. And I think everybody loves him this year, and he's had a great he's been good. This has been a good year for him. But I think he's going to be too highly owned. You look at
he ain't going to be highly owned. He ain't going to be highly owned. He's almost DFL last week. But
yeah,
I get the fade.
He was cut last week, but he was
terrible. He's like plus 12.
Yeah, but he's been popular all year because
he has, but he's not going to be popular. He's not. I'm a Johnny Vegas. I'm typically a Johnny Vegas soothsayer. Johnny V won me a bunch of money at the Honda at 100 to 1 as a first round leader bet. I know you were on that too, but man, I missed him last week. He freaking screwed me. My fades are going to be Daniel Berger. I think. It's recency bias is basically what we're talking about. Berger, everybody saw him last week. Okay, yay, Daniel Berger, he's doing good. That course is way more set up for Daniel Berger and his length and the way he likes to play golf than this place is. He's a terrible.
He was 71st last week. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but
he caught the tail end. He caught the tail end of Sunday, and that weather was terrible on Sunday. I mean, he was in one of the last groups over the weekend. I mean, he played pretty good. I mean, but Bethpage was brutal late on Sunday. But he got a lot of TV time. Daniel Berger got more TV time than Rory, and Rory top 10.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I saw that he had some good moments, but I'm just saying.
Anyway, I'm fading him. A guy that I'm fading that I have been on this year, and he's paid off. He's a guy that loves to play well in Texas. He's an Aussie. Matt Jones at 7,400. I think he's going to be talked up because he does play well in Texas, but doesn't have a great record here. He's not. This is not the course for him. He is not an accurate off the tee guy. He takes advantage with his distance. He scores well on par fives. The par fives are not that scoreable here at Colonial. He's not checking those boxes there. And yeah, the course history is pretty poor in the last 5 years, with his best finish being a 45th. So I think Matt Jones is another fade. And yeah, I'm out on Danny Lee too. I think Lee does have a good record here, but I think I'm not buying the.
If I got somewhere around like a 5 or 6% on Danny Lee, I would love it. Love it.
Well, I guess we'll have to check that come Wednesday night, as we always do with Fanshare Sports. That was a nice little tee up you gave you there, Pat. FanshareSports.com is the place we go to check GPP ownership. We had a ton of leverage last week in GPPs thanks to Fanshare. Didn't really work because people like Johnny Vegas and Bubba Watson screwed me over, but that's on me. That's on me. It's not on Fanshare. All Fanshare does is they listen to the podcast and the YouTube videos, and they read the tweets and they read the articles, and they say, here are all the guys that are being talked up by the touts. And and they tell you who's going to be popular, and they give you some nice ownership projections and other tools, lineup builders, etc. It's a very inexpensive membership to have. You can join weekly, monthly, or annually, just dip your toe in the water. Okay, just try a weekly membership. Just see if you like it. Use promo code Tour Junkies when you join. Get 20% off the membership. It's like the cost of an IPA, okay, for the weekly. Just give it a shot, see what you think. Promo code Tour Junkies at fansharesports.com. Love those guys. They've been good to us for a long time. Really good dudes. And working constantly to improve their product. So the price you pay now is where you get in, and they're always improving their product, and we love that about them. And they actually care about this little world we live in that likes to bet on golf. So good times. All right, Pat, let's wrap it up here. We're at the 6K range. It's time to get going. Any guys that you like here in the 6K? Just some flyers. Hit us with some flyers.
So I don't have a whole lot here, and I don't think I'll dip too much down here, but a couple guys that I like, and I'll start with Michael Thompson at 6,800. Look, the reason I like him is because he just tends to show up on courses like this, where distance is not a factor, where you got to hit fairways, which he's top 20 in the field and fairways gained, and you got to hit greens, and you got to be good at scrambling. He's top 30 in scrambling, and he's just been solid here when it comes to playing this course in the past. He's just sort of that steady player that I like on courses like this. Looking at the last 4 times he's played, he's missed a cut once, but he had a top 10 in 2014, was T32 last year. I'd be fine with a T32 out of a guy at 6,800. And you know what? He's in good form on you look at the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head. He was top 10 there. So I think Michael Thompson is just a good sort of solid $6,800. I mean, I'm good with playing a guy like that. And then now this is definitely deep, but I think worth a flyer, especially in GPPs, and that is Doug Ghim at 6,700.
I like it.
He's not getting a whole lot of starts, he's taking advantage of the ones that he is getting, though. He was T12 just a couple weeks ago at the Byron Nelson Classic, and he's checking boxes. I mean, he's 14th in the field in driving accuracy or fairways gained, 17th around the green, second in proximity, by the way, 100 to 125 yards. Now, there's not a whole lot of as many measured rounds as you get with some of these other guys, but look, I mean, the guy, he's scoring, he's checking the box and opportunities gained. So I think Doug Ghim at 6,700 is definitely worth a flyer in your GPP plays this week.
I love the Ghim play. Had him written down. I'll just run through this quickly. I like Kevin Streelman. I think Streelman at 6,900 makes a lot of sense here. He's got good upside. A T18 finish in 2017, checking a lot of boxes right now. Hits a lot of fairways. Pretty good iron play. And he's been in pretty good form. I mean, a 6th at the Heritage, which we've talked about being a comp course a couple weeks ago. A 6th at the Valero. I think Streelman's going to be probably a chalky 6K play, but a solid one nonetheless. Also, right there at 6,900, KH Lee. I like his number. Another really accurate player. Doesn't have a history here to speak of, but has played pretty decent. And then last but not least, Augusta boy, Vaughn Taylor. I like Vaughn Taylor a good bit. He's got a pretty good record here. He's gained almost 9 strokes in the last 3 years playing this tournament. He's 11th in fairways gained, 30th in opportunities gained, and he's been playing really well. I mean, he finished 17th at the Byron Nelson in Texas a couple weeks ago, 13th at the Wells Fargo before that. So I think Vaughn Taylor is a nice play as well, but I also agree with your Doug Ghim play. That wraps up the picks. Good stuff, Pat. Let's transition to our one and done. You ready for that?
I'm not, so you go first.
All right, one and done. I'm going to go Francesco Molinari. Haven't used him yet. I was really excited last week. I used DJ, and I'm thinking, hey, I gained a little ground on Pat. And then I remember that you also picked DJ. So I gained no ground on Pat.
You gained 0 ground.
So I'm going Francesco Molinari. I like the safe Italian. And I was looking at it, there's not a lot of tournaments left this year. There's not a lot of tournaments left, and there's still a lot of big names that I haven't used, which is on me. It's on me, but this is why you guys should pay literally 0 attention to my one-and-done picks.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I just feel like this would just spit in your face. And also, I've literally had no reason to take him all year, and I don't think I'll take him in the major because I'm not going to save him for a major. So I'm going to go Jordan Spieth. Yes.
Great. Good for you. Guarantee you Francesco finishes higher than Jordan Spieth.
Okay.
Pat, it is time for one of my favorite segments. I'm looking forward to this. It is the Chunk and Run segment, where we talk about one thing that is golf related and one thing completely not golf related. This is a good one this week. We've got a listener question for the chunk portion, but we have a DB special that really only applies to Pat for the run section. So Pat, I'm going to go first for the chunk segment, so that while you're giving your little spiel, I can get prepared to deliver your rap lyrics that are coming your way.
Yeah, I was just looking at my phone because I was like, how am I going to read these?
I got you, buddy. Don't worry. We've had a couple of listeners send this question in for the chunk. Any golf equipment that you've used lately that you like or don't like, or just thoughts on equipment in general? For some of you gearheads out there, there's probably some of you that listen that don't play real golf. We absolutely love to play real golf. It's my favorite thing. It's what I fell in love with a long time ago, long before DFS and betting on golf. So we are golf fanatics here, and in terms of equipment, we tend to play a lot of TaylorMade because we get a hookup with TaylorMade right now, which is pretty special. We appreciate that. So I'm kind of a TaylorMade guy through the bag, except for my wedges. I have Titleist wedges. I just can't get away from Vokey wedges. I've always been a Vokey wedge kind of guy. I have a PXG putter that was fitted for me, but every other club in the bag is TaylorMade. And I got to say this, Pat, and you can testify to this. I was fitted for a hybrid a few years ago, and I had the hybrid, but man, it was the one club in my bag that was easily the worst club in my bag. I would chunk it. I would hit it thin. I would slice it. I would hook it. I would hit it perfect. It was totally unpredictable. I hated it. And our good friend Stephen Bowditch, our boy Baldo, told me one time, you may need to get off the hybrid. A lot of guys with higher swing speeds don't tend to hit hybrids very well, which is definitely me. I decided
you had to throw in the higher swing speed.
I decided to invest in a driving iron, and Baldo put me on to the TaylorMade P770 2-iron driving iron. No, I have the 70s. You have the 90s. Or no, you have the M5. I don't know what you have. I have the 770s. It's a 2-iron driving iron, but then Baldo gives me this secret. He says, because I'm like, listen, I only needed to go like 220, 225. That's all I need. And he said, get it in a 4-iron shaft length. 4-iron shaft length. So that's what I did. I cut it down to a 4-iron shaft length, and I hit that thing so freaking good very frequently. I use it multiple times around. I punch out with it because a lot of times off the tee, if I hit my driver, I'm everywhere. So I punch out with it. I hit it off the tee when I don't need to hit driver. I hit it from the fairway good. I love that freaking club. I love that club. It's one of my favorites. Pat, I'm gonna let you give your thoughts on equipment. Also, people want to know about the My Golf Spy thing. I think we should tell people about My Golf Spy. So while you do that, I'm gonna deliver your lyrics to you.
I don't even know what you're talking about with My Golf Spy.
Okay,
so,
you're a freaking disaster, dude. Okay, anyway.
I mean, what is it? Is people spying on your golf game?
Oh my god. Pat, what email can you reference quickly? Can you do your P. Perry thing?
P. Perry, DAWG @gmail.com.
Don't give your email out to everybody. Good Lord. All right, everybody blast Pat with emails for being a dummy.
Great.
All
Why
right,
are you needing my email?
I'm about to email you your rap lyrics.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, why don't you just text it to me? All right, so for me, my club in the bag that I'm just absolutely loving right now. Now, I don't want this to sound like a TaylorMade ad because it's not, but like you said, we do have a decent hookup there, so it's been good. And I've got brand new irons, which I love. But, and you would think with the driver, I've got the new twist face and all that kind of stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I do like my driver. But the 3-wood TaylorMade, it's so pure. I love it. David can attest. I hit it pretty good a few times when we played in our memory guest. So my 3-wood right now is my club in my bag that I'm just absolutely loving. It's not really set up all that different. By the way, most of you that are out there may think that I play regular flex shafts because David always talks about how.
Actually, we did have a listener live on YouTube just now ask if you play with a senior flex. Shout out T.
No.
White.
Yeah, don't play with a senior flex. I play with a stiff flex, which I was fitted to by some professionals. And so
what it is it's actually a regular flex that he takes a Roman wipe and he rubs it on the shaft before he hits it, before he takes it out of the bag.
Not at all.
Stiffens it up a little bit.
I have enough swing speed.
No free ads though. No free ads.
David actually saw me hit a drive in the PGA member guest that was quite long, and so he was very impressed. If you all must know. So yeah, I'd say the 3-wood right now.
You sound like Donald Trump right now. I hit it very, very long, and David was very, very impressed. He was extremely impressed. It was the most impressive thing he'd ever seen.
I'm so distracted right now looking at these rap lyrics. That are just, it's
Don't look at the rap lyrics. Okay, let's skip to the rap lyrics because I don't want you to.
First off, this is so long. Like,
I took out a lot of parts. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Pat is going to read the rap lyrics. Let me. I need to pull up a version for myself just so that I can read along. All right. So we decided that Pat should read some rap lyrics. The song was selected by. There was a lot of good entries. Okay, a lot of good entries, but myself and our boy Ben Little, who does the Chalk Bomb, had a good one. It is a classic from my boy Master P. I used to love some Master P back in the day. If you're a 90s kid, you got it. And this song is called Ooh Wee. Ooh Wee is a good one. So Pat, why don't you get us started? And I want you to read this whole thing as if you were rapping it.
I have never heard of this song, and there's some pretty cool lyrics in here though, because I mean, there's even a Dukes of Hazzard reference in here. So
that's a good thing.
And that's just from my scanning. I have very good scanning ability. That's kind of how I read things.
Strokes gain scanning. You're good at that.
All right, so I don't really know. I have zero clue how this song goes.
So you've never heard the song?
Never. I don't think. I probably, if you played it, I would have, but it doesn't come to mind. So I'm just glad that you said it was ooh wee, because I was going to say oh wee. So here we go.
I'm already in love with this. This is not
I like the way she shake it in the thong. Ooh wee. The way she make it twerk and grab the wall. Ooh wee. Oh baby, you know what you're doing. Ooh wee. No limit, got the steps bouncing and moving. Ooh wee.
Okay, wait a minute. Is that the cadence you think that goes in?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, keep going. Now, okay, that's the hook. Now I need the verse. Now this is you gotta bring the heat on the verse here.
I know a big girl with an iron skirt. Give her a couple dollars, she'll make it work. I mean, holler at me, Wody. You know our crew large. My fantasy's to have sex with two broads.
Oh, wait a minute. I should have said this. Hold on. I should have said this before the jump run. If you have underage people listening, you need to let them go right now. Okay, go ahead. All right, now pick it back up with I mean holla. Pick it back up.
I mean holla at me, Wody. You know our crew large. My fantasy's to have sex with two broads on a boat or a plane. Some exotic cars from a Bentley to a Lex. Girl, bring the toys on the dance floor. Shorty's starting to take it off. Took her to the VIP. Started breaking me off. Said she knew I was...
Is this a poetry night? Let's pick it up a little bit.
Said she knew I was a baller by my iced out wrist. I told her, wait, it don't stop. Keep drinking the Chris.
Yeah.
I'm a country boy just like the Dukes of Hazzard. See a fine chick. You know I'm going to grab her. Annie Mae, girl, where you at? This no limit, boy, trying to do that thing. I said, right the boat. Don't let it sink. It's time to go to war. I got the tank. I'm supposed to read the top again, or can I keep going?
Let me see if I can give you a
Wait. Okay.
I like
just
the way
keep
she
going
shook
on.
it in the thong. Ooh wee. The way she make it twerk and grotto out. Ooh wee. Oh baby, you know what you're doing. Ooh wee. No limit. Got the steps bouncing and moving. Ooh wee. All right, now you go.
So do that again, or just start?
No. Pick it back up from there.
Say that then. Okay. Wait. I could work, but your body, come on, back it up, back it up. You know we be in Master P. We gonna tank it up, turn around to the ground. You know how it goes. Catch the flow, tippy toe, come and wobble some more. Like you know how I do it. Don't act surprised. For a fact, got you dancing till you're hurting your thighs. Oh.
Oh, that's a little ad lib there.
Once you tune it up and wobble it, act a fool and wobble it. Once you make it hustle, oh baby, don't pull a muscle.
Wait a minute,
Got
breathe,
you work-
Pat, breathe.
Got you working on the wall till you running out of breath. Now's when I breathe. Yeah, No limit, like I told you. So y'all give us respect. Now you could shake it like a dog. Break my effing balls. Do it how you do it. Let me see you take it off. Mary had a big old butt in them tight ass jeans. It's so, and every club then Mary was at them thugs. We're sure to go. I mean, she has bow legs with the curves just like a bottle. Hang on. All right, let me close it out here. Project Chick, but pretty just like a model. When I'm rolling through the hood, she on dubs. Don't mind getting and shaking her thing in the club. I mean, beat bopper, she loved the tote shoppers. A real country mama, cook grits and eggs.
You
and
skipped a line.
Oh wait, call her head nurse, and then I'ma be the doctor. A real country mama, cook grits and eggs, and she won't leave the farm except to get paid. Cammy's on lock because she loves to ball. Find her at the mizzle on the dressers on the mall, buying high heels on some leather boots, or looking for them ballers with the crazy loot. What? That's all I got.
Oh, jeez. That is the best. All right, I'm just gonna let you know, this is not the last time that you're gonna do this. What was your favorite line? What was your favorite line in that song?
My favorite line. Back here. Hang on.
So creative. We're gonna lose a sponsor.
I would probably say on the dance floor, Shawty starting to take it off. Took her to the VIP, starting breaking me off. Said she knew I was a baller by my iced out wrist. I don't know what that means. I told her, wait, it don't stop. Keep drinking the Chris. I love that. And then it follows up with, I'm a country boy just like the Dukes of Hazzard. See a fine chick, you know I'm gonna grab her. Gosh, it's aggressive right there.
Yeah, I like. You remember Master P was all about saying "Wody." You said
yes.
who Waddy. Whatever he said. He'd say "Wody." All right, that's the Tour Junkies podcast for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Oh man, may your screens be green. See ya.
Out.
Tour Junkies.
Oh gosh, that was probably pretty good.